Now the feature presentation.
To the light, just whatever light I've got.
You mentioned, can you tell us more about your friend that you said this movie was about?
Oh, no, it's a bunch of different friends, I guess. That were more like, I felt like I was the best friend of the person that always got in. Like I remember sitting and hanging out with Russell Simmons, who was trying to hit on my friend, and you know, he wasn't interested in me, but whatever. He was old, I'm a lot younger. He was there. I just want to say it was a very healing process for me because my mom plays a librarian. That's my mom, and she died like a couple of years after it came out, and then like a year later I had to do a Q&A, and I just like, I was like, yeah. It was a very interesting thing, and then tonight it was really fun and great to see her. It's great to have the documentary.
She was great.
I secretly smoked behind her back, and she secretly smoked behind me. And I found out years later, literally after she died, Parker told me that Parker smoked with both of us secretly. I never told the other. Sorry, not a secret teller. And the other thing that struck me about seeing the movie tonight is all the extras are the crew. And I keep seeing like, oh, there's my assistant, like the girl with the red hair, or Suki Holly. Or the guy who said, oh, the new jam that's the Dolly Grip. We made it for $200,000.
Oh my God.
And then a distributor, we couldn't complete the film. It was shot on Super 16 millimeter, and we actually had it on film, and it was actually in my apartment, and we actually couldn't go further with it, which is like the real nightmare that can happen. And then we were able to do some screenings out here, and we sold it to First Look, and they gave us like $300,000, and then we completed it, and were able to go to Sundance, but I don't know. Oh, because I met Todd Hughes at a party and he Facebooked me that this was happening.
That was outside. Is Mustafa gay in real life?
No, actually, I felt like it really held up tonight, and I was really happy watching it, and nothing made me cringe, although that was a very difficult role to cast, I have to say. Because especially my partner Harry, who taught English as a second language and felt it was exceptionally important that we hire somebody who was Lebanese. Not a big acting pool. 1995, New York City, Lebanese actors, go. But it's pre-9/11 and it's pre all the issues. And I remember having a little bit of issues like, why does it have to be Arabic? You know, because I'm half Jewish. And Harry's like, he has to be Arabic because you just said that. And I was like, I was like, okay.
How did you get access to the libraries?
Yeah, that's the Hoboken Public Library, home of, wait, was it the Hoboken? Yeah, where Frank Sinatra, there's a lot of Frank Sinatra memorabilia there. You know, pretty much, like how did this movie all happen? It was people really liked the script, and then it was sort of the opposite of how I hear about a lot of people's dream projects, because it was very organized, and everybody was, it was a lot of bumping people up. Well, I guess that's true of a lot of independent films, but like, the production designer was a former art director, so everybody was we mostly got, not our friends, but people that we read about in a magazine and cold called and said, I read about you in Filmmaker magazine, would you do our film? And we sent you our script, and we were very ballsy in that way. But I feel like it was like done in a way that was more like a professional movie than oh, me and my friends got out, we were all alive, we hung out, we made this film. Call sheets, and we were a little bit, more like Mary is about the library, about the making of it, and I feel like we projected that, and so, like Georgia Candace, who's a supervising, she was somebody Harry had PA'd for, and she works with Francis Ford Coppola, and she just liked us, and so she then, when we were really disorganized, came in and said, okay, this is what we're going to do, and suddenly she's calling the libraries, not us. So, because we were 25, you know what I mean? So, I think there's something about when you get mentors, I guess mentors, that's the answer to your question, there's a lot of mentors, which was nice. And again, now independent films are made by George Clooney, so I don't know that there's like that thing of kids doing the thing, but you know. At the time, we were different because everybody had been real artists. Like, I mean, I don't consider myself Jim Jarmusch or, you know, the sort of the people before were more really making art films. So to make kind of what's a mainstream poppy movie but cheap was a slightly different feel.
One more question. How did you end up working with Parker Posey? Because I
Oh, that's the best question. I should have brought that up first. Parker came in and auditioned, and literally she walked out, and Lauren had heard of her. Okay, so what had she done? She had been on Another World for like 8 weeks, and she had been in Dazed and Confused for 5 lines, and that was pretty much it. She still had a twang from being she's from Laurel, Mississippi. And she did the audition and she left the room, and it was like behind curtains at, I can't remember the name of that theater company, but like Fisher Stevens Theater, Naked Angels. And she left, and all of us literally went like this. We didn't want her to hear us raising our hands. And then because I'm an actress's daughter, I called her that night. I said, I don't want her to have to wait from doing the audition to did I get it, do I get it? Because in the period that you're waiting to find out, you grow to hate that director more and more. The director comes on the first day and you've got to undo that hatred for like 3 or 4 days. And I just called her and I said, based on your work today, we you know, and she's like, oh no, but I'm not telling you the best part was when she read the script, she called me and she said, I have 70 pairs of shoes, I have to do this one. It was a mutual kind of love thing. And yet on the set, she didn't like the crispy dialogue. She always wanted to kind of like do it down a little bit more, and I wanted her to do it more 1940s sort of. And so we had some tension about that, and I think the tension won because her improvs and her dancing and her everything makes the role work. But had it been her low energy takes, I don't think it would be as good. So I think I brought her up and she brought herself, and that was a good kismet of like, wouldn't have been good with anybody else. We all know that. There you go.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then I saw her like a couple of years after, and she's like, I'm totally stereotyped from that movie. I can't get any other roles. I can't make any money. Yeah. No, I think it'll be fine. But she knew it because the roles she chose to do afterwards, she was very clear that she wanted to be an artist in her way. You know, she's never picked cheesy part. You know, she's always done these weird movies, so you know, in a way you can protest, but she's made her choices, and I think they've been great. But she'll never summer house.